What's up, y'all?
Hey y'all.
It's
Hey
the late night happy hour with Carrie Irene and Sue, Dr. Sue. I like to call her Sue. And
hey.
what we do on Friday nights is we come in here and whatever comes up,
Comes out.
comes out. Okay. So watch this video right quick and tag somebody, share it with somebody. Let the people know that me and Susu about to cut up tonight. Yeah, I just feel it because she said she in the city mood. So I immediately said, let's just go live then. All right, so watch it. Like, wait, I gotta see. Am I hitting the right button? That's
We
the
in the
one. We'll be
house,
right.
y'all.
We'll be right back.
As I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. At 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that. No, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?
Yeah. What's going on, Pratiba in the house? Monique in the house. She can hear me twice. She can hear me on her phone and she downstairs. Who else is in here? I see y'all in here. All right, so Dr. Sue, we just gonna get right into it because they already know. We're gonna say hey to y'all whenever y'all say hey to us. But right now, me and Dr. Sue literally just got on here 3 minutes ago. I ain't talked to her all week. Dr. Sue, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you? I feel like a kid in a candy store, y'all.
You
I'm so
know,
just
you know
ask
what
me
I'm
why.
saying?
Oh no, I'm just excited. It's gonna be so
Yeah. I'm excited too. I'm especially excited because like before I went live tonight, I'm like, I want the camera here, but I want the screen here and the mouse over here. And I'm like, this ain't working. I'm like, it'll work if I make it work. So I got my mouse pad on top of my drum. This is my desk.
beautiful drum. That's a beautiful
Yes,
drum.
ma'am. That's my desk. And then I'm just chilling in the chair. And I feel good. I feel really, really good. Well, oh, we got the pain-free PA in the house. What's going on,
Michelle,
Michelle? What's going on? I love you. Love you. I love all of you. So, what you do today?
me,
Yeah.
I worked all day, but I was talking to one of my former students, and she said, "Dr. Collins, Dr. Collins,
That guy.
Dr. Collins, what are you doing?" And I said, "I'm working." Dr. Collins, you need to stop working so much. And I said, the
Yeah.
thing about what I do is it's not work. It's not work.
Mm,
I love what I do. I love
Mhm.
learning and sharing and inspiring and motivating. And every time, regardless of what I am doing, um, I am always thinking about how can I share and uplift somebody else. So, and
Mhm.
that's not heavy. That's like
Mhm.
this is my passion. My passion and my purpose have merged, y'all. I spent a
Yeah.
lifetime trying to figure out what one and the other were, but
Mhm.
in God's time, they just merged. So this ain't work. This is. I'm so excited. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I know, right? It's harder to not work than it is to continue to work. That's why, especially in the entrepreneur world, we always talk about self-care because sometimes literally that can be, girl, go eat something.
Yeah.
Because you've been sitting here since 6 o'clock this morning and the sun is going down. And the only thing you done had is coffee and some graham crackers. Go get your butt up and get something to eat. Nourish yourself so you can think more. Like if you're gonna be up, do something to sustain yourself. Drink water. You know what I mean? Like do something to sustain yourself. So what you been conjuring up over there? What you
Okay.
working on?
Okay.
What you
So,
what you what you what you what you
I am creating my coaching program, um, Revision You Unlimited, and the first part of it, the first course is the first component is Revision You 1.0. But
Mhm.
as I am doing the research, I'm just being led where God tells me to go in terms of looking at the components that should go in there. And I
Yeah.
struggled for so long trying to figure out, well, exactly who do I serve and how do I serve them? And so I got it this week. It's like, duh, download, duh. It's been right there in front of your face all the time. But that aside, what I was working on today, since I serve high achieving African American women who feel called to a higher purpose, but for whatever reason, they have these internal blocks that they can't quite, they've had success, but they know that they can do even more and be even greater in serving others. So I
Mhm.
today, as I was doing the research, God just led me to, well, you need to think, you've thought about self-esteem and self-worth. You need to bring it back. Really, a foundation for that is self-concept. Don't ask me how I got into the Bible because I can't tell you anything other than
No
that was
one knows how any of us got into the Bible.
that was where I was led. And I was led to Jeremiah,
Okay,
which says,
Jeremiah, don't let me get
I
more my
love
Bible at.
Jeremiah.
Wait a minute, we have that. Now we were gonna have prayer service. You should have told me. Now I could have got my Bible. Now I don't even know where it is. Where is my Bible?
Anyway, y'all,
Girl, I don't
I
even
was
know.
led to Jeremiah. And y'all probably know this
Let me
scripture,
type it.
but it's so profound. And every time I read it, I just get chills. So, I wrote it in my journal. See my journal, it's almost full. But it says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb.
Come
Before
on.
you were born, I set you aside and appointed you as my prophet to the nations. Now that's Jeremiah 1, chapter 1, verse 5. And
Yes.
then Jeremiah was saying, in essence, but God, I'm too young. I'm just a kid. I can't do this. So God says, don't say I'm too young. Sometimes we say I'm too young. Sometimes we say I'm too old. So God says to him, don't say I'm too young, but you must go wherever I send you and say whatever I tell you. And don't be afraid of the people, for I will be with you and will protect you. I, the Lord, have spoken. And then it says, then the Lord reached out and touched my mouth and said, look, I have put my words in your mouth. Now that
Come
comes
on.
from Jeremiah 1, 7 through 9. So I'm reading this stuff and I'm thinking, how many people have gone through life saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not worthy. I can't do this because. And as I thought about that, and I'm thinking, but God said, I formed you in your mother's womb. I purposed you even before you were born. Who are you to say I'm not. And so then that led me to I am, right? And led me to a verse in John where Jesus asked, I think Jesus asked Peter, who who do men say that I am?
Mm-hmm.
And then Peter says that they say thou art the Messiah. And I thought, no, first he says, who do men say I am? And then he says, who do you say I am? And
Mm-hmm.
I thought, there is nothing more important than knowing who you are. Because
Absolutely.
with all of that, Jesus didn't have to say who he was. He knew who he was. Do you know who you are? And I have to tell you that for ever so long, I struggled. I was this person, I was that person, I was putting on the mask, I was trying to be, trying to check the boxes. The lawyer, the doctor, the girl from the hood, the girl who now lives over here, the girl with the jag, all of the material things, and wearing all of the masks, and hiding myself. How about this? Hiding myself from myself, because I didn't know myself. But I could just imagine the conversation between Jesus and Peter. Jesus was standing on solid ground. Really, y'all? It didn't even matter what Peter said. It didn't
Yeah.
matter what Peter said. And so I think about how often, what if Peter has said, oh, they say you're a bum from down the street. Oh, they say you ain't gonna never be nothing. You ain't never been nothing.
Down
Who
the
do they
street.
say you are? Oh, they say your mama don't want you. They say your daddy don't want you. They say, what do they say about you? And how do you let it mess with your mind? Right?
Mm.
Now, in fairness to each of us, we're born into conditions that we don't have any control over. We don't. Now,
Mm.
I get metaphysical with you and say that before birth, before you entered into your mother's womb, that you had an agreement with her and him that you would be born of them, so that there were certain things that you wanted to experience. If I were going to get metaphysical, I would say that. But I'm not. I'm going to keep it straight up.
I
Keep it
mean,
straight.
take it where it's gonna go. You know what I mean?
I, I'm going to serve you
We're
straight.
with you.
So it's like, so often we come here. I mean, every time we come in and we know who we are. And then we begin that process of unlearning. And some of it is because of the environment we're in. When we come into an environment that is abusive, that's violent, that is unloving, we take on all of that. And all of that impacts who we are, how our self-concept develops and evolves. If your mama
Mhm.
is constantly telling you you got big lips, nappy hair, all of these things, who do you think you are? The key though is, as a child, you don't really know that you have control. But as an adult, you have to be responsible to yourself.
Yeah.
Stand and be accountable. It doesn't matter about the world. Be accountable to me. I don't care what you say about me.
Okay, back
I
row.
remember when I wasn't always this person. Y'all think I was. I'm just saying no. But no, is this person. Y'all know I tell all my business. And
Tell it.
and I was in a relationship, and it's like every time I decided I didn't want to be the person that I had been. See, it's all about making a decision. I decided that I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be unloving. I didn't want to argue. I didn't want to be in conflicted relationships. I just
Mhm.
wanted to be peace. I really wanted to embody peace. I wanted to
Mhm.
give the love that was inside of me. Now I had to find it because I didn't even know how to love myself. But that's a topic for a different day, right? But my
Or maybe
point
later.
is that the person that I was in the relationship kept saying, well, you used to, here's something about the you used to. When you have made that decision to change, oftentimes the people in your world, in your life, won't allow you to. This is where you got to really dig in, be strong in who you are, and call on God to help you stand, because otherwise you'll be shaken and you'll go back to being that person. One of the reasons that people don't want you to change is because they can't see for you who they can't see, what they can't see for themselves. And the other thing is when you change, you upset the apple cart. Everything that you did, or that whole, how do you say, the environment that was established, that was existing before you changed, now you put out different energy, and now it has changed. And either they change with you or they drop out of your life. So my friend used to say to me, well, you used to, and I finally said, I am not going to apologize. I had enough. I'm not going to apologize anymore. Yes, 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 a million times yes. That's the girl I used to be, but that's not who I am now. And furthermore, I'm not going to have this conversation with you another again. You know, that's the way the old folks say,
Another again.
not another
Another
again
again.
am I going to have this
Look,
conversation.
and you better don't ask me again. You better don't. You better don't.
Listen, what I'm telling you is you got to take a stand. I took a stand for myself. I took a stand for myself. If you want something different, you've got to take a stand for yourself. So today we're talking about self-concept. Who are you? Who do you say you are? Who do they say you are? And if they don't say that you're the person that you want to be, what are you doing about it? Are you internalizing what they say and elevating that over who you know yourself to be? Are you, because you are in a transformative stage, you're transforming and evolving, are you locked into, well, you're right, I used to be this way, I guess I probably still am, no, I haven't quite changed yet, I'm a work in progress? No, I ain't none of that. When I make up my mind to be something different, here's the power of your thinking, the power of thought, the power of your mind. When you make up your mind to be someone or to do something different, the change has taken place in that moment. Now you just have to act on it. Acting will make it so, but only if you move forward. If you let them say you're not, and you how do you say, you embrace the you that they're presenting, nah, your life won't change. It will remain the same. So that's my little sermon, y'all. That's what I've been thinking about today. The importance of standing up for who you be. Stand for yourself. Put a stake in the ground. I don't care what you say about me. Don't matter. I know who I am and I know whose I am. And I'm on my own journey. I'm on my own path. And the fact that it looks different from yours, it's supposed to look different because I am a unique being. There is not another thing or person in existence that is like me. I have every right to be me. And I'm going to own it.
Yeah. Yeah, let me get in on that hug now. It's a group hug. Everybody hug. Everybody hug. Everybody hug.
Wow, I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. Just
Yeah.
my life.
I want to ask a question to everybody in the audience. When when you look at me, do you think, like, what do you think? You know, like like Jesus asked the disciples, right? Like, when you see me, what do you think? Because when I see people, and I've gotten to the point where I'm not expecting anything because I'm coming from a place to where I don't have to preface anymore that I'm being unapologetic. I'm just simply being, whatever the situation is, whatever's going on, I'm just here and doing my part of the situation that I happen to have attracted to me. And I'm not looking at it as if now you done brought me this shit, like, oh, here we go with this again. I look at it and I'm like, okay, here's another moment presenting itself to me. And I feel my heart racing. I do, And I know I hear all the thoughts and stuff that I can say back. I do. I understand. All of it makes sense. Ooh, that was a real good one. That one dig. That one right there dig deep. And ooh, I might say that. I'm gonna put that on the shelf for later. But that's a good one. I might write that in my journal later. But you know that all of this is going on. And then from that point of awareness, it has nothing to do with what who said what. It has not anything to do with what happened. It no longer has anything to do with your age. It has nothing to do with your race. It has everything to do with what is the next thing that I can do that will cause me to feel in a way that is as far away from what I'm feeling right now as I can get. Still in response to what happened, but what is the best thing that I can do right now? Sometimes it's like,
just breathe. Breathe.
we all know what a good breath will do for us, you know. And not only that, it says things to the person in front of you that you don't have to say. You know? But you get to a point where you're not throwing your breath at them, but you are taking a breath because you know that that is the best thing you can do right now. You don't have to be apologetic for it, but that also goes with, and I'm gonna free some people with this one. How many times have you been going through one of the worst parts of your life? If you put it on paper, it would make a really good documentary or a lifetime movie. But you feel good and you find yourself not wanting to show up feeling too happy because people think, wait a minute, wait a minute. And your good mood becomes fishy to people. You know what I mean? How many of us dim down because we don't feel like we should feel as excited about some turmoil as we do? And they like, this is, and we go through these things and we're like, this keeps happening to you and your friends is like trying to help you. So you're like, no, I'm good. But like, you ain't got no money. I don't know what eye you using, but you need to close them and look. Because, baby, I don't need you to see what I see from my life. Because my life is the only one I can see. And yours is the only one you can see. So there ain't nothing that you can give to me that I'm not seeing. Now, when we get in situations and we get in encounters with people and we are getting all of our nuggets, we call them, all of our knowledge, all of our wisdom, there's nothing that can happen on the outside that didn't already exist in the inside. You have to be open to allowing any knowledge, any wisdom, any emotion. If you are mad, I guarantee you in your mind, if you said, I'm going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
You might not go straight to happy, but I bet you went like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You made a move in the right direction, even if you ain't gotta believe it. Because if anything, you're gonna laugh at yourself like, yeah, right. You went like that again. And then you start giggling at yourself, saying, oh my God, it's so stupid. You go like that again. You gotta keep putting the weight of positive thought on the scale to the point that it tips. That's it. Just keep doing it. You know what? I'm gonna watch Golden Girls just for 30 minutes because I know I'm gonna laugh and watch Golden Girls. And you know what? When I take my shower, I'm gonna take a long shower. I'm gonna put on Luther Vandross. Big Luther, honey. Big Luther, okay? Wait, when I medium Luther, big Luther. Maybe mix it in with a little Barry White. Or we might go back to After 7. Dr. Sue probably don't know After 7, y'all.
No.
I know you would. But that's still tipping the scales. We ain't got to jump from plane to plane. We just got to continuously take steps in the direction of which we want to go. And like I said, I don't remember, it was I don't know, I was doing an interview the other day. And I wrote in my phone, I'm on my phone right now. But it said that if you continuously make decisions in the direction of which you would like to see, really soon you will find yourself there. You'll be there. You will be right there, staring. The things that you put into before you will be in front of you. because everything is vibrational first. I mean, anybody listening to Abraham Hicks, I think we can agree on that vibrational thing. And the law of attraction is just what vibration you happen to be putting out. It'll bring more things like that to you. It ain't no funny stuff about this. This ain't no funny stuff about it. For instance, if I were to completely put on a bulletproof vest, some navy blue pants and a navy blue shirt with the fold down pockets, and put me a shield on my chest, and pop my collar and put me some sunglasses on and a police cap. Do you not think someone's gonna come to me thinking I'm a police? At least one person.
I'll be doing, what you doing, girl? What you doing?
Right. And you'll be like, I didn't even know. But we put on all of this energetic suit, and then we surprise what starts showing up, expecting us to be a police officer, expecting us to be vulnerable, to be humble, to be less than, to be ugly, to be uneducated, to be lazy, to be ADHD, to be, sick, to be all these things that we, kind of conform to being, instead of being what we call unapologetically us, but just completely aligned with what comes up right now in this moment in my gut. And I know what that thing is to do. I know that idea was great, even though I don't nobody understand it. I know I was supposed to say that to that person. Could have been a little more articulate. Yes, I could have. But that's what came up. I wasn't saying it from a place of malice, a place of hurt, a place of it's the truth. Sometimes it's just what it is. It just and how it lands with someone else. It ain't none of your business.
Yeah.
It really ain't none of your business because you're being as unique and authentic to you as you can. And we gotta fine tune that too. Me and Monique was talking about something today. I forget what it was, and I blurted something else, and then I just laughed about it because I'm like, see that I said that's why I don't get around a lot of people. I don't get out of the house because literally I just opened my mouth and the truth just come out. I'm not saying it, but then I realized like I remember what that felt like on the other side. Me just saying the truth. Sometimes people take that as number one, you think you know everything, or number two, you think you better than me, or how dare you call me out, or that ain't none of your business. I'm like, I know it's not none of my business, but I opened my mouth and it came out. Like I didn't like think, you know what I'm gonna say to her or to him. It's not like that. But when you get authentic, those things are gonna happen, and you got to be all right with that. Because if you're not all right with that, you start to shrink back again. You start to shrink back again, and then you start to repeat the same pattern. Except for other people judging you, though, you're judging you because you see the difference between authenticity and not being authentic. Then you start to judge. You don't do that. Just sometimes you do need to isolate yourself. Sometimes that's the answer, but sometimes you just need to piss some people off. Not because you need to tell them something though, but because you have something to say. That's two different energies. Two different energies. Because what we say here at the late night half hour, whatever comes up comes out. And it should, because it doesn't belong in there. That's what inauthenticity is. Not the fact that you've lost yourself. It's the fact that you put too much stuff on yourself and you are suffocating yourself with the cells of other cells that you put on top of yourself. All that residue. Oh, yuck. Get it off. Get it off. Oh, Sue.
Yeah.
You got to get it off.
Yeah. But I was, as you were talking, let me roll that back and take that butt out.
Roll back that beautiful bean footage.
Learning how to be self-aware. Typically, if you say but, then you're about to say something negative. At least that's a perception. And so I'm not about to say anything negative. I'm constantly monitoring myself to say, I say what I want to say, but I try really hard to say it from a positive perspective. As you were talking, I was thinking that in fairness to each of us, the listeners, myself, you, we have to acknowledge the impact that our environment, our upbringing, the people in our space have on us, especially as children. And a lot children are like Teflon. The subconscious mind is like Teflon in all of us, but children are especially prone to picking up on what is said and what's not said, what is done, the energy that goes with that. And so all of that is a part, is all of that impacts us in forming that self concept. As we grow older, oftentimes we're so steeped in it. It's like the word that popped into my head is it has become concretized. Now y'all can say that's not a word, but that's what it is.
Concretize. It'll fly. It'll fly. It'll fly.
So it's like a concrete block, right? It's so solid. The self concept that we have is so solidly negative that we don't even know that we have choice to change it. But we have choice. That comes from having an awareness that not just change, transformation. Not all change is transformative, but all transformation must include change. And it must begin with self awareness that the person that I am, the mask that I wear, what they say about me, I'm not that. I have choice. But you have to go further than that. Now, this but is a positive but. We go further than that because nature abhors a vacuum. And when we say, I'm not that, if we don't put something positive in the space of who we are, who we be, who we're becoming, if we don't put something positive in there, then guess what? Just like the tides wash up on the shore at the ocean, those negative thoughts will come right back. That negative self concept will remain concretized until you begin to develop a positive self concept. And again, oftentimes we may not know how to even begin to do that. I remember the first time, y'all, I'm about to tell my business. I just want you to know.
Tell it.
I remember the first time somebody talked to me about self-love. I didn't know what they were talking about. What is that? Oh, you mean, yeah, I get my nails done. I get my hair done. I got my toes done. And I bought some new clothes. Yeah, I'm loving me. I didn't know. Now, there's nothing wrong with any of
No.
those things. Nothing wrong with any of those things at all. That's a part of self care. But that ain't really what self love is all about. And so I had to learn, I had to unlearn what I thought about myself. Big lips, too dark, nappy hair, big eyes. I had to unlearn all of the negative stuff. And I am still, here's the thing about unlearning, it is a process. You can't just scoop down in there like you're scooping down into a bucket of ice cream and come up with all of it.
Ice cream.
It rises over time. You go in, you scoop up some of this stuff, and it kind of settles in, right? And then you think, oh, I got it. I figured it out. And you did in that moment. But life is not vertical, it's more cylindrical. And so, just like the slinky, I got what I saw that time, but Lord, 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 it has come back around.
Lord,
Now I'm
Lord,
looking at some more stuff.
Lord.
Dang, I say, didn't I just do that? Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to go deeper. We're going to get to we had vanilla on top.
We're
Now
gonna
we
get
go
more. We got Neapolitan.
now we go we got to keep going. Keep going till you get to the real you, the real me, right?
Mm.
Now you get to decide for yourself who that is, what that is. But you got to do some self exploration. You got to look at everything that you can remember that they said about you. And this is where values, just really identifying your values. What are those things? What are the non negotiables for you? What is most important for you? Right? You can tell that by looking around in your space. What do you have in your space? You can tell that by looking at how do I spend my time? What do I spend it doing? Who do I spend it with? When you can get clear on your values, then, I mean, for me, That is so important because getting clear on my values, that eliminated a lot of BS, y'all. That eliminated a lot of like, nah, I'm not even dealing with this person because we're not vibing at the same rate. We're not even in the same plane. But it takes self-awareness and determination and a desire. This is where the personal development comes in. This is where life coaching, spiritual coaching, talking with good friends who are also on a spiritual journey. This is where those kind of things come in. Reading great books come in so that you can have something positive to put in that space that you have just vacated. Because otherwise, y'all, like a septic tank, it's going to keep getting full.
Hey, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Ah, man, to everybody who do Facebook Lives also, I know there's also this thing because me and Dr. Sue both been there. You get in front of the camera, you feel like things got to be a certain way. Stop doing that. The room does not have to be perfect for you to go live in that moment. You do not have to run and put no lotion on. We do not care if your hair's messed up. I promise you, ours is flat in the back too.
I don't have
When
none.
you
I'm
get,
just
you
saying.
know what I mean? When you get that urge, when you get that burning thing, if you need to, call somebody, jump on the Zoom or just jump on the live, do it. Those are the things that'll get you closer and closer to your authenticity. When you start to see the repercussions, if you may, of following your instinct just for like a week. Sometimes ain't none of them gonna make no kind of sense. You can be like, oh, I'm gonna pull over and I'm gonna get a leaf. That leaf looked like something, and then you stop and you get the leaf, you put the leaf in a cup, you sit it on your dresser, and then all of a sudden, you done forgot about the leaf, you done went into your job interview or whatever, you looking for a job. You go to all these job interviews. You go to this one place. You're like, this is a job I want, but I ain't even qualified. I ain't even got the degree that they want, y'all. But I'm gonna go. And then you go in there, and then as soon as you walk in the thing, there's a cup on the man's desk, and it's got a leaf in
With
it.
a leaf in it.
And I know everybody out there done had that story. It might not have been a job, it might not have been a leaf, but every one of us got that story. Revel in those moments and stop throwing it to as a fluke or coincidence or so. Or stop. I tell you what. I tell you what you do. Oh, this is the camera that's really on. Take it beyond the post you put about it on Facebook. We do want to know. I want to know. You can call and tell me. I want to know about it. I do. But don't stop there. Do this. I mean, you ain't got to do that because that's a little, beautiful mind-ish. I'm a little, I'm a little, but do it. Do
You a
whatever it
little
is.
extra. You a little extra, Carrie.
Look, just,
In
just,
small letters.
but do whatever it is. Like, for real, do it. If you want to create a program about the different levels of sit-ups, to help ease the sciatic nerve in the back because of one of the things that keep people from doing that is the pain. Do it. If you want to create a machine that stretches out just enough of your back to get you back in a line so that you don't have to go to the chiropractor, do it. If you want to, whatever it is, we have these wild and crazy, audacious ideas and we don't follow them because we don't think that we are capable of doing it. But if you're capable of having the idea, you're capable of staying in the vibration of that idea so that all of the components of that idea can be attracted to you. That's how manifestation happens. Manifestation is just staying in alignment with who you are because every component that you need will be attracted to you. Don't that feel good to know I can just sit back right here ashy without my hair done? And because of the fact that I'm in such a place of happiness, bliss, and knowing that I am taken care of, that is something on the way. And it feels good. I'm gonna tell you, it feel good. And then you can just sit back and allow people to witness what they think is a miracle. It's not a miracle. It's that I found it out. I just figured it out. It ain't no miracle. You can do it too. You can do it. You can do it too. You can do it too. That I waited 44 years before I found a best friend. I'm living with her now, and I just met her in 2023. You know why? Because I wanted one. I became what I wanted that to be.
That's
What
so
was the
important
name?
right
What
there.
was the name of my first coaching program? Be your own best friend first. And when I took myself through my own plan, 2 years later, it works on. It doesn't. It's not about one thing. It's about everything. Whew, it's about everything. Oh, what time is it? Oh, it's 40 minutes. Okay, we got
Oh,
time. We
that's
got
the
time. I
time.
see you writing. I thought you. What you writing over there?
I'm not writing. I was looking on my phone though, y'all, because I wanted to share.
Yo.
I want to share about the New Year's Eve meditation, which
No.
was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And one of the things that we encouraged those who attended to do was to have their journal and write down whatever it was that came to them or whatever their perceptions were, whatever. Write
Mm,
down whatever you wanted to write down. And during when at the end of the first meditation, which we did on the Eastern time zone, and I was still in the meditative state and had not even opened my eyes, but I had my pen and I had my journal and I was just writing stuff. The first thing that I wrote was die,
mm,
die to live, don't live to die.
mhm.
And I didn't get anything else. It was like that, and then do what you're called to do. So that was New Year's Eve. I see. That's so sweet. Uh, then on this past Sunday, well, actually this past Monday, I was looking online. I love Micah Murdoch. When I asked God to send me a spiritual teacher, Micah Murdoch showed up on my timeline. And so I have
Mhm.
been attending him and studying with him via YouTube, right? So what I looked at the the talk that he did this past Sunday, and guess what it was called, y'all?
Let me guess.
Guess what it was called?
Die to live.
I said nobody was here, and I went, and I had scrolled back, scrolled past it because I was looking for something else. Excuse me, I was looking for something else, and I scrolled past it, and I went back and I thought, no, he didn't.
No,
Hey,
he
God,
didn't.
I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing. And so I listened to it, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing, and it gave like God had just gave me the topic, the little bit, but he elaborated on what that meant. Like, okay, God.
Mm,
And then at the
mhm,
end, toward the end of his talk, he did this phenomenal meditation.
mm,
And it's a visualization meditation, and he takes you through the desert. And he tells you as you're walking through the desert of 2023, there are things that you might want to leave behind: relationships, people, jobs, things that no longer serve you, things that made you unhappy, whatever, clothes you no longer wear, weight, whatever. And so he says, you're walking toward this big mountain in front of you. Now, you don't know what's on the other side of that mountain, but you're moving toward it. And as you get closer, you turn around and you look back. And God says to you, you have a choice. You can stay with the things that you're leaving behind, that you put here in 2023, or you can go forward. Now, going forward, there's this big mountain, and you don't know what's on the other side. You don't know what's on the other side. But this is a choice point. So, my question to each of you listening: if you were in that meditation and you're presented with that choice point. Are you going to stay in 2023 being who they say you are, being who you have internalized based on what they said you were, or are you going to move forward into 2024 and beyond, becoming the person that you know in your very soul that you are here to be? Powerful
Hmm.
meditation.
Hmm. I never did get to it. I said I was gonna do it that day. I sure didn't. I'm gonna do it though. I had, yeah.
It's a great meditation.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do it though because it sounds amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of meditations that symbolizes like mountains or walls or a fence. But we must know that we are the mountain. We are the
Exactly.
wall. We are the fence. We are the one that has constructed anything that is blocking us, because everything that has happened up until now is a direct conclusion of all the decisions that we've made. Now, circumstances, no, not saying that. Not saying that, because everybody else is out here making decisions based on their life as well. So yes, we will find ourselves in places and in circumstances that we did not construct. But what we decide from the point of actualization of any experience is up to us, which actually creates our reality. And if you want to challenge that, think about how many different ways. I know this is going to sound morbid, but look at how many ways there is to die. It's like there's an infinite amount of ways to be. And the only reason why there's an infinite amount of ways to be is because each one has their own, period. And we're infinite. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep going, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep going. If I've ran across this post the other day that said, like, if you were to, somebody in the office died the other day, and they already declared out their deaths, they didn't use the vacation, they used the sick time, they didn't get to go to the birthday parties because they was at work. But and time goes on, and I don't know. I ain't saying you subscribe to, afterlife, another birth, and all the kind of stuff. It does not matter, because even if that still exists, it's not going to be this one. It's not going to be this one. You don't get this chance again. You don't get this go round again. This is it for this time. And I want to be a good steward of my time. I want to have a good time. I want to feel that freedom of just being me and being good, so that I know for sure that if anyone has a problem with me, it ain't me.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't me, because I am not doing anything. Ooh, I hear feedback bad. I'm not doing anything that I have tried to put on you. I'm just being who I am in this moment for whatever has come up and showed up in my life. And that's that on that. And that frees you up from so much responsibility that we put on how other people are supposed to be, how they're supposed to act, how they're supposed to react, how they're supposed to like it. Let them. If someone doesn't like what you're doing, just be like, that's their choice. They don't have to like it. But I'm not doing it in relation to whether they're liking it or not. I'm doing it because I feel like this is the best thing for me right now. This ain't got nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. Michael, oh, that's the guy you was talking about, right? Is that the guy? Die to
Right.
live, or you will live to die. You too. Yep. Yep. But I mean, and I like that title. So tell us, I want to hear more about what you was talking about earlier, the revision. Because I know that's something that you've been talking about, whether you titled it or not, whatever. You've been talking about that for a minute anyway.
Well, I excuse me. I've actually been doing coaching under that. How do you say? I've been. That's the title of my coaching program, and I've been doing it for a. Actually, I've been doing it for about 4 years, but like everything else, things evolve over time, and I have the more I coach and teach it, the more clarity I get. And within the last month, it's like all of the pieces of the puzzle came together so that I could structure it the way I am being divinely led to structure it. Um, when those pieces came together, it was with God saying, it's not that you can't provide value to others, but you're here for a specific purpose. And that purpose is to help prepare others to go out so that they can serve others, right? And so I am working, and I've worked with white women and I've worked with Black women, but my client, the one that I am to serve, is a Black woman whose experience has been like mine. I am my client. Now, what does that mean? That means that I checked all the blocks. I I went to school. I did the good girl thing. I did all of those things. And every time I did, I had the material things. And every time I got to a new accomplishment, a new degree, I thought, this is it. I'm going to be happy now. But I wasn't. I wasn't. And I couldn't figure out, why are you not happy? And then I had what at the same time I realized that inside of me, I began to have this energy of, you're playing small, you're playing small. And then, despite having all of these degrees, all these certifications, all of this experience, I began to shrink myself to fit in the place that I was in. Will shrink is like putting water inside of a bottle. The water fills the shape of the bottle. In the shapes, in the spaces that I was in, I didn't feel, I didn't have the confidence. I didn't feel free to expand. I began to watch myself in these different situations. Now, to be clear, y'all can look me up. I'm all over the internet in terms of my.
Google me.
So I'm not going
Period.
to get into all of it. But I am a lawyer, and I spent 45 plus years in criminal justice. I've done expert witness work. I've done a lot of stuff. And I retired from Georgia State as an emeritus associate professor, which is an honor, because basically the university is saying, we like you. You can hang around and you can still use our name as being associated with us, and you have access to these privileges because you are among the elite, right? All
Mm-hmm.
of that. But inside of me is like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I knew that I was playing small. And I have been on a journey, a seek and discovery journey, specifically since 2016. I left the university in August of 2016, and I was determined to find out, pardon my language, what the F is wrong with me.
F.
What's wrong with me? Why do I feel I got all this going on? Why do I feel this way? And I one could say that I retired at the height of my career, because so many people go into academia, they don't get promoted. They go in and they don't really make it. Um, my experiences have led me to, in discovering who I am and why I am the way that I am, or why I was the way that I was. My experiences have led me to know, in the insights from God, that you're not alone. There's
Mm.
so many women and men as well, but I'm not here to serve men in that way. There's so many women who have such great potential, but we are playing small, and we don't even know why we are playing small.
Mm.
So, Revision You Unlimited is a coaching program. In its fullness, it is a 10-month program where I take you from where you are and help you to actually manifest that which you want to manifest, that which you want to bring into creation, whether it is your own program, whether it is to leave a job and become an entrepreneur, whether you want to retire, whatever that is. we create a destiny map. I teach you how, not just about, but I teach you how to tap into your intuition. I teach you about the universal laws so that you can use them to achieve whatever your goal is. Because here's the thing, the universal laws, they are always working. The law of attraction, it's always working. See,
So
you may
fun.
not think it's working if you're not getting what you want. If you're getting if your money is bad, you don't have the car you want, all of those things. If you're losing things, if it's like God is taking things from you, you may think, well, I don't know, this law of attraction doesn't work. It does. You got to look at what are you putting out there, because everything is energy somewhere. And I'm not talking about anybody, I'm talking about me now. I'm telling my story. Somewhere there are not just thoughts, but there is a deep-seated belief of lack within you. And even though you're saying what you want, you're probably saying it in a way that's negative. And so that's what you are actually manifesting. Oh, I don't want to be Poe. I used to say that so much. I don't
So
want to be Poe. P-O. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be here. I don't want to be there. No, I don't. And yes, I'm saying I don't.
too
Just so
much.
you know, I'm very, very conscious of what I'm saying. Okay. So here's the thing. If you don't want that, then you gotta come up with what you do want and say it in a positive way. The law of attraction is always working. It's
Always.
attracting what you don't want because the universe does not hear the don't. It's like it wipes that don't out and it says, I want. I want to be Poe. I do. You say, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my rent. Ah, universe says, oh, she don't know how she's gonna pay her rent, so let's just keep her in the dark.
Let's keep her in confusion because then it spills over to every other area of life because what you're putting out is a vibration of confusion. As if you don't know, instead of saying the solution is out there and I'm going to continue to fine tune myself until I'm a match to it.
So in my
Mm.
coaching program, it's heavy on teaching the universal laws, but it's also unique to African American women because we have a mindset that, metaphysically, it goes back beyond the birth. But in this lifetime, we have to connect it to the energies that have been passed down to us from generations and generations of enslaved ancestors. We may not be aware of it, but it lurks underneath in your DNA. And when you look in the mirror, as I did, and you see big lips, you're seeing the big lips of your ancestors. They didn't love themselves, especially a dark person like me. They didn't love themselves. They were not one of the chosen. And I looked in the mirror during my youth, and there was nothing about me that I liked. Nothing. Well, maybe I like my eyes, maybe.
Maybe.
And so we have to, in this revision you, we go deep into identification and self-discovery. And then we think about who is the you that you want to be. Between the you, dream between the you that you want to be and the you that you were, I'm putting in the past tense, we look at, that's where the work takes place, the transformation gap. So revision you 1.1 is where we're going to look at the first three pillars of my program: reflection, which is the separate discovery; dreaming, which is actually the reprogramming of your mind; and release, which is getting rid of those mindsets, those behaviors, and negative beliefs that keep you locked in place, that keep you from really being able to lean into your destiny. And I'll be talking more about it and start posting more things. But right now, I am anticipating a start date of March 7th because I'm going to take some time to actually advertise it appropriately.
Hmm. And because we also got another bun in the oven. Because me and Dr. Sue are going to launch a group coaching between the two of us. She's going
Yeah.
to be being the teacher, and I'm just gonna be the wild, out of control student. Yeah. Y'all gonna want to miss it, and I'm thinking we hadn't really talked about price much, but 98 came to me, Dr. Sue, and I'm gonna put it out there. $98 a month. What you think, Dr. Sue?
Say it again.
I
90,
said $98 a month.
that works.
There you go. I look right to the camera. There you go.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
I want it to be
good time.
accessible. I want it to be accessible. I think
Mm.
that's important.
Shoot, that's cheap. That's cheaper than culture. That's cheaper than culture per month. Man, it is. It feels so good to know that you are in that spot. There was something that actually just popped in my head when when I started to speak earlier. You was talking about when you were in school, I think, and you were talking about how you got this degree, you got that degree, your top of your class this, but like something just you don't understand why you didn't feel good. I can speak for myself and say that there's another side of that too. That I want to speak to that audience that when things are, and I mean, Dr. Seuss said F, but I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not gonna say F, but it starts with a F. But when you get to the situation when every fucking thing is gone, gone, your money's gone, your fiance gone, your house is gone, your stability is gone, everything's fucking gone. Can't figure out why you feel so fucking good and you try to hide it. Why is it so much more taboo to be happy than it is to be miserable? You try to hide how good you feel because you should feel like shit because you're at the lowest that you are. You like, damn, I feel good though. I feel a shedding. I feel an unveiling. I feel a releasing. I was describing it to somebody the other day like a rocket. And
Like, oh, uh-huh.
when people build a rocket, they got steel, they got boats, they got all this metal and heavy artillery, all of this accelerant and fire, and it's just this smoke and all this drama. All of that stuff falls away. It means nothing in the arriving of the thing that actually went into orbit. That was just a mechanism that they have built in order to protect itself during a certain phase of life of the rocket. Think of yourself as that rocket. You don't need the stuff that you have built around yourself that got you to through something previous in order to you for you to get to the next thing that you're going to. You gotta shed some stuff so that you can get better direction about where you're going. Because you needed that stuff to be able to ignite yourself. But you do not need that stuff in order to get to where you're going. Take a lesson from the rocket. Y'all gotta shed that stuff. Shed that stuff.
That's not what you wanted to say. Just go ahead.
Shed that shit. Shit.
I knew that was what you wanted to say.
Right, right. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. But I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, and it's that you can tell me all day that you're not attracting what you're attracting, but I promise you, in those moments, those still quiet moments, that you see evidence that you are. It reminds you of something, a vibration get off, or something will manifest to you in your life, and you think about 2 or 3 weeks back when if you had made a different decision, this never would have happened. Something as simple as putting off a bill. Like I realized that I put off a bill that I thought I went back and paid. So when I'm thinking I'm a month behind, that tells me I'm 3 months behind. But had I checked it when I thought, because it came to my mind to check it, and I'm like, no, I'm sure. But it came to my mind to check it to remind me that, hey, you ain't right about this. But we just take just the little things. If we just start listening to the little things, like calling your folks when and then just for whatever reason, or taking a left instead of a right today, or it takes the little things in order for us to build the muscle when we get to the bigger things. So when we do the merger or not? Do we invest the money or not? We have to start with the smaller things, so when we get elevated into other things, that we have primed ourselves to listen to ourselves in every
Mhm.
situation. And that's how it goes. Woo, we 5 minutes over. Shoot. Thank you for staying with us, y'all. We just talking.
I knew this was going to be good, man. I have had such a good time, and it could just go.
Always. Always, always. It's always a good time. I appreciate you, Dr. Sue. I appreciate your transparency. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your light. I appreciate your knowledge and wisdom that you share with us when you do not have to. But y'all know she like it. Look at her glowing. She like a kid in a candy store.
Thank you so much, because I love you, and I appreciate all of that about you as well. And
Uh-huh.
one of the things that, and this is so heartfelt, um, I would not have this same energetic connection with everyone. And so,
Mhm.
y'all, you need to be mindful of who you connect with, and
Yeah.
don't if it don't fit, don't force it. But there has always been something magical from the very first moment that Carrie and I connected, and
Mhm.
it is a magic that it just does its own thing. As she said when we got on, I haven't talked with her. I think we may have texted back and forth a couple
Yeah,
times, but it wasn't
barely.
even
Yeah.
no deep
You
text.
you yeah, you text me about the live to die to live, and you sent me the link because I didn't get to it. Well, I didn't get to it, but yeah. I mean, we barely talked in the past week since
Well, it
we
is.
yeah we met. What day we meet? Was that Monday? Maybe we did.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's been too long. Put it that way.
It has been.
All
But
right, but take us out, Dr. Sue. Take us out, Dr. Sue. You get your last words, because you already know what I'm gonna tell you.
I'm going to tell you that love yourself. It really is so important. Not just because I say it is or the world says it is. It's because love is who you are. All too often, we don't know who we are at the core. And so I'm going to encourage you to begin to shed those layers. Shed those layers. We put them on because, number one, oftentimes as kids, as I said, we're like Teflon and we're picking up other people's stuff. But we also put them on to protect ourselves from hurt and pain and all of the world's harms. And I was reading earlier, a part of what I will cover in my coaching program is that strong Black woman syndrome. You know, we got to be strong all the time. And the reality is that that is a mask, that's a facade. We don't have to do that. And we do better when we don't do that. Be vulnerable. And, so I'm just encouraging you to love yourself. It's a process. And then you can begin to get those things, whatever it is you want to manifest and to attract, then you can begin to do that. Because love and gratitude, those are the highest vibrations. And as Carrie said earlier, you you may not always wake up when you're in that high vibration, but changing your thought, even
Mhm.
to get up from the bed and move around, it doesn't matter what you're doing, just the energy will make you feel better. If you're sad, you can't be sad and happy at the same time. You're making a choice. So if you choose to be sad, then you'll find that your body posture is going to be. Okay, I was an expert. I was addicted to depression, so I can tell you all about that, right? And so now I'm learning to be addicted to not necessarily happiness, because that's fleeting. I'm addicted to joy. My
Mhm.
spiritual teacher used to say to me, and I didn't get it, but she would say to me, happiness is a high high and depression is a low low. Where you want to be is in the
Sure.
middle. You enjoy the happiness when you get it, but don't expect it all the time. Don't feel a lack because you don't have it. Just feel the joy of living, of being. It's all about your beingness. So my last words are, you can't love anybody else. That special person that you want, if you want a partner, you want a companion, you got to get right here. You become your first love. And then the energy that you emit will bring to you another love. May God bless you.
Mm-hmm. Y'all know, please come back, see us next Friday, because we got to talk about the structure of the subscription group. But we have come to the conclusion that would it be around the same time as we do the late night happy hour. So we don't know if we're taking that offline or leaving it online, but I want y'all to please be on the lookout for it because I'm excited about it. Because it just feels so good, and I know it's going to be good because I feel so good. But the last thing I just want to tell you is that I love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. See y'all later.
As I was thinking about what we are doing, it really is an opportunity for people to connect with their beingness. We are not conscious of the compartmentalization. We just say, this is who I am, right? Who you are is different depending on the environment that you find yourself in or the people that you find yourself connected with. So I hold myself out as an example. At 71 years old, it's been a long journey. It's been a long journey to self-acceptance. And I think it may be that way for many of us, that we look at the pieces of ourselves and decide, I can show that. No, I can't show that. Is there a danger? How deep is the danger if I show you all of me? Oh, I can show these people this part of me, and these people this part of me, and these people this part of me. And then the question is, how long before you get tired of just compartmentalizing your beingness?